Battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here, and darkness enshrouds us all. That gives me the perfect opportunity to weave you a little tale. On the 8th day, God spoke, "There shall be darkness." And mankind responded by trying to divide the darkness by sending their finest riflemen in and try and lift the mysterious shroud, but alas, it was to no avail. God responded by laughing and sending badger bombers to drop shroud crates from the skies, and humanity wept. Ever since, that was the story of the first Dark Tournament, but we're not here for the first Dark Tournament. This is Dark Tournament Recursion, Revengeance, Electric Boogaloo. And to be more precise, these are the finals. And our finalists are as follows from left to right. Left spawning as Ukraine, it is Mr. ZxGanon and is in his signature Angry Red. He is the Angry Hippo of OpenRA. Very skilled player, also a regular co-host of mine and the winner of RHL Season 7. Conversely, we've got Mr. Orb, vice champion of RHL Season 7, in his traditional signature green. Those two people are going at it again. Just a recap of the RHL finals with that extra little tidbit of Shroud. Yeah, so what's the Dark Tournament? It's been hosted by Blackened, and the first one has been hosted by Noob Mapmaker. Has been a great success with players facing off on maps that they don't know and that are being played with Shroud. So it's really risky to go for any early maneuvers. Let's see where this leads us. Ganon already sneaking in a Grenadier Rush. This is such a technical match here, cool. Okay, so we're seeing Orb sniffing out Ganon's base, and both of those are actually going for a War Factory Rush, I believe. Yes, War Factory Rush for both players, that's insane. And Ganon already camping the spawn point, that is gonna be super nasty. Orb is holding on to his pillbox. Does he know about the Grenadiers? Oh, because any lesser player would probably have deployed the pillbox here and just ended the camp. Yeah, just like that, perfect. He holds, he knows when to hold them and when to fold them. And Ganon, oh! That was so close to greatness. I think he stepped one cell too close. If he had gone more to the north, he still has got one backup Grenadier. Got one more shot, so don't miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime, to quote a great musician. Oh, he's fighting with line of sight disadvantage. Not like this. Oh! He had the keys to the kingdom here. No! Man, Ganon, blowing it. Just by moving a cell too far north. Because the ranger wouldn't have been here in time. That is an insane start. As the map is slowly starting to unravel here, let's see what this map actually entails. So we've got a safe derrick for both players. We've got a contestable derrick in the middle. We've got a very narrow bridge. That is Grenadier down. That is probably not going to play a major role because you can't squeeze 2 combat tanks across these bridges. Your army's going to get tangled up. So this is basically no man's land. The swamp and marshlands. And then we've got a Choosy Gem expansion that is being slowed down by Firts. That's actually an interesting concept, because as much as rich in yield that this expansion actually is, it's still slower to mine due to the dirt tiles. There's an APC out for Ganon just for safety. It's a precautionary measure. And we're seeing the return to the Ranger Danger build from Orb, apparently. That's his second... Oh! That was super close. Orb not paying attention there. Little slip of attention allows Ganon to get away with his engineer safely. That is crazy lucky. So both players. That's actually one of those matches where it's really interesting to go in each player's vision to see how much of the map they've uncovered. So both have an actually semi-solid read, but Ganon has not scouted the north just yet, so doesn't know what's awaiting him there. Nothing too crazy, to be honest. Just 2 derrick, some more expansion slots. So this is a map where you expand away from your opponent. Both of you are actually interested in expanding to the north. There is the MCV already out, so obviously better MCV timing for Ganon, and that's the drawback of the Ranger Danger build. Sure, it gives you some nice early field presence, but does it give you an early MCV? Fuck no. That thing ain't gonna come complimentary. That ain't gonna come as a freebie here. But it dunks on double ref builds, as we all have experienced before. And thus, just like bowling pins, the rifle infantry fall one by one. Getting knocked down here. The heavies here to police the field, but it probably can't do much. That is a bit risky. He has deployed his flame tower. If he was... Ganon doesn't know when to hold them and when to fold them. He should have actually kept on to that, because he didn't know, but there might have been engineers inside. And APC taking a beating. That's already a sizable push. Right now he doesn't have much to defend. What's his base defense follow-up? Another flame tower. Yikes. Oh, the service depot might actually go down here. The Rangers still trying to police the infantry. Yeah, the service depot's dead. Oh my lord, that's already such a timing loss here. And going for the power as well. Just chipping away at the base. Obviously the Rangers get bullied around by heavy tanks. That's a perfectly balanced as all things should be, Kappa Pride. Oh, APC doesn't get the turn anymore. And the Rangers are still alive, chain gunning down infantry. My lord. Mowing them down on the streets. That is savage. And infantry from rifle infantry out of position. Finally, most of the Rangers are dead. Still, those racks are just extra racks at the end of the day. Yeah, he's gonna lose that one, but that's fine. That honestly is fine. Still 2 Rangers out on the field. He built an extra one. Wow. And some more Ranger dangering going on. Orb just knows when to weave in and out of engagements. I love this playstyle too. One of my favorite builds. Yeah, here, down they go, but there's a massive, sizable tank push. I didn't mention this because the game was quite action-packed from the early game, but this is a best of 3. So we're probably gonna see 2 to 3 games, is my mathematical estimate here. Tesla coils would be, yeah, he's in dire need of Tesla coils. Let's see. Combat tab. Where does that leave us? Combat tab is fairly even. Ganon has gotten a macro refinery out, and he's got an expansion. Orb has got his expansion too, but he has not moved on to greener pastures just yet. But I think the army count is definitely... Yeah, that is... Wow, that has skyrocketed for Orb. So most of his money is sunk into an aggressive army. Yeah, he scouted that with a rifle too. Most of that has gone into an aggressive army, whereas Ganon was just busy playing defense. Look at the zone defense. That's like 2k in flame towers. A lot of heavy tanks being patched up. He hasn't lost a heavy tank though. He's not allowed to give away his base there. But Orb knows anyway. Orb knows that there is expansion somewhere because this refinery can't have materialized out of thin air, right? So he's just pulling most of his army up north. He knows that there's something in the water. Oh, that is Orb going for the jugular. He is not messing around this game. And just no more expansion slots for Ganon. So in just a brief little moment, he's not going to be granted a moment of respite. He is going to be under the weather. Seriously under the weather. Because he's going to run out of eco momentarily. And long distance mining is the only option for him. Both have got a refinery queued up, but yeah. You know, you're having a better... You know you're having a good time when your opponent doesn't have an expansion out by minute 8. He's desperately trying... Ooh, he snuck away though. Maybe he can contest this field. But this engagement is gonna be so compact. Way too compact of a formation for Orb. Ganon is not allowed to move into this at all. What are his rockets doing? His rockets are just on a lunch break. Alright, cleaning their rocket tubes. That's good shit. Some good shit right there. Alright, buddy. Ooh, loses the tank too. That was big. 3 mediums for 3 heavies. The allied player is gonna take that with a smile. And if that ain't a Tesla coil, then it's not looking good for Ganon. Because yeah, it is not Tesla coil. If it would have been a Tesla coil, it would have been able to chip away at the expansion. As it stands, dire situation here. More mediums closing the gap, and I think Orb is going in for the kill now. Yeah, he's seen enough of Ganon's antics here. This does not look like a repeat of the Season 8 finals at all. This looks like the road to death for Ganon. And GG being called in Game 1. What a brutal game. What an absolutely mad game here from Orb. Just playing it so safe. Like, he had the read on the Grenadiers. That was super smart. He did not fall prey to this tactic where you deploy a pillbox, because then the Grenadiers would have gone in and they would have had like 12 seconds of free reign over the power. And that would probably have been game ending. But Orb knew when to hold his cards. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. That's it for Game 1. We are going to be back with Game 2 in just a minute.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
The shroud lifts, the curtain rises, no smokes and mirrors, just 2 people at a very high skill level going at each other's throats. Let's check out the map in Game 2. This is Dark 26, I believe, and I haven't played that one myself, as far as I can remember. Yeah, story time. I also took part in the tournament, and I got absolutely pummeled due to a lack of practice. Or have I played this map? Might be the case. But regardless, Ganon and Orb round 2. We're going to put it onto all players to make it extra little bit more exciting. Darkness. This is such a cool concept. To be fair, in this tournament, Blackened made most of the maps as far as I'm aware, and he stuck more to a more competitive setting. With Noob Mapmaker, it was just, he was going wild. He was going ham. We've had mini games, we've had... so in this, in Blackened's iteration, he always used 2 regular maps without any mods, just the maps themselves were new. And the third tiebreaker map in each round would be a minigame map. That was a really, really cool concept. And I dropped out to Bane in a hilarious fashion. We traded games 1-1, and then the tiebreaker was a minigame where you were in an underground facility and you had to capture vehicles with hijackers, like neutral vehicles, and then just basically go into survival mode and just kill the enemy's vehicles. And there was a noob trap here. It was all vehicles, and there was a radar jammer in the beginning that completely serves no purpose whatsoever in the vehicle combat. And I took the bait. Whereas Bane was lucky enough not to scout the radar jammer, so he took 4 combat vehicles. And all of a sudden I was left with 3 combat vehicles and a radar jammer. So yeah, those minigames were hilarious. I had a blast playing them. So kudos to Blacken and the team behind making those. Storytime over. Let's check the production with the new production overlay, which is gonna be incorporated into the main game, mind you. And thus far, no divergence. So this time it's Germany for Ganon, and it is a Ukraine. So basically swapping out factions from the last game. Ukraine for Orb here. Both taking the Derricks. No, Ganon has opted out of an engineer just yet. Going for a super... going for some early rifle pressure, like 10? Scattered about, wants to be absolutely sure. Chipping away at a power plant too. It's not very helpful if your opponent has already gotten the second power plant out, but it's nasty if you hit him on the first power plant timing. So flak track after two ore tracks it is. Fair. And we're gonna see a third ore track here for Ganon, and the 4th spawning shortly. So he's not gonna contest the early flak track, he's instead just gonna reroute his infantry back to his base, which is the smarter play, considering the flak track still has basically a license to kill against all infantry in the early game. So unless he goes for a light, which he doesn't appear to be... Oh, no, never mind. Light tank is on the production queue right now. So he just doesn't want to be caught off guard. And 4 harvesters for both. This map is kind of one where you want to move out as early as possible. This base only gives you seeming protection, because there is nowhere to go. If your opponent just camps here, you can't push him out with a base push. You basically need tier 2, and on a map this brutal and this with this short of a distance, tier 2 is probably not in the cards for most players. And so if you get boxed into your main base, it's basically game over. But anyway, I digress. Here's the mobile flag, just trying to get a little scout around the base. He's feeling confident enough. It's always a better idea if your opponent isn't Soviets, because against Soviets you just get zapped by a Tesla if you venture too close. But he is apparently scouted that Ganon is spawning as some sort of allied faction. Oh no! What a terrible timing! What a terrible turn of events! This time Orb not sleeping on the wheel, but neither is Ganon. The light tank is blocked! Oh! He's taking so much damage. Okay, finally. Light tank to the rescue. If this block had continued for just a couple more seconds, the MCV would have been toast. Wouldn't have been the worst deal in the world, because Ganon still his allies, could have built a mechanic, but it would have cost him a lot of time and a lot of money to do so. So Orb with a bit of a later SD and a bit of a later MCV as a result, but that's fine. He's still gonna have a larger army for the time being. This Konyard is battered and bruised. Ganon moving on, deploying his regular macro refinery. He has 4 harvesters in this batch. Should probably transfer 2 more harvesters if we're being real. This stage in the game? Yeah. Any day of the week. So, and with the light tank out, that's actually kind of interesting. Despite Orb going for a flak truck, he has the better timing on his first combat vehicle, and that's actually more impactful than you'd think. With medium tanks, there is this timing window that you can exploit before the second before the second medium tank comes out, the heavy tank is way stronger than one medium. But in a 2v1 situation, the tides can turn very quickly. So it's kind of this gambit. Do you go for an early timing push, expecting your opponent to be slightly behind on the production? Do you exploit this like 10-second timing window? Or that's something that is only probably for the highest tier of players, the highest tier of mind games too. So that might just be a free snipe on the oil derrick. Oh no, but Orb is going for the main base. Is this already gonna be a base trade? I can smell the base trade in the water. Nothing in the main base at all for Ganon. This is gonna catch him so off guard, and that's unlike him because he usually likes to spread his rifles around the scouts. He also hasn't gone for his derrick, curiously enough. He hasn't scouted it. Oh no. He knows he's gonna be in peril. This is a terrible, terrible time to be Ganon right now. The MCV is probably gonna take a beating here. Gonna be able to limp away for the time being. He can't repair it. He can't go to the service depot now because Orb is just gonna finish it off. Oh, he's already bleeding tanks. This is gonna be a snowball. The start of a snowball rolling. Power down here. Oh my, Ganon is going for a desperation play. He's going for a counter base push. Oh, he's trying to evacuate the main base. He still has some eco, like 3 harvesters mining. Those two need to get the hell out of dodge. The MCV at least manages to bail, but his war factory is going to be down. Yeah, no way he's going to be engaging into this. So he's instead rerouting into the south. There's a flame tower, taking it under siege. Oh no. Oh, this is horrible for Ganon. Right, service depot down. War factory down. What a rushdown playstyle from Orb. I rarely ever see him do this. Okay. Yeah, another flame tower. Oh my goodness. Ganon's MCV needs to book it right here, right now. Base is lost. Base is forfeit. The flame tower shot with the perfect accuracy. How did that happen? Perfect accuracy. Does he go for a mechanic? He needs to. Like, a mechanic is his only hope, probably. Oh! Everything going wrong here. Or being able to retain his service depot, being able to retain his tank, his war factory is still online, and the husk is about to expire here. This is going from bad to worse for Ganon. His base, his husk of a base that is left here, he's trying to trade off with the infantry, but 4 heavies ain't gonna go anywhere anytime soon. 1 Kanyard left for Ganon. He is limping. He's on, not even on 1 leg, he's on 2 toes right now. Yeah, and that's probably gonna be slicing off another toe here when the power goes down. The curtain is about to fall. Tier 2 production underway for Orb. He's got this in the bag. GG being called. He knows what's up. Ganon knows when the final hour has initiated. Wow, that was a complete rushdown from Orb 2 games in a row. This game, no actual major mistakes from Ganon except not securing his right flank with a single scout. He didn't see that coming, he thought the perimeter was safe. And that's very unlike him. I usually see Ganon spreading around 100 rifles. This time around he was like, nah. Orb ain't gonna go for a flank. He's gonna contest my expansion, right? Right, guys? Well, hindsight is 20/20, but Ganon was wrong. Also, it's not hindsight anymore, it's now Black Hawk sight. But that's just an aside, just an addendum to a tragically short series of games that is gonna be the 2-0 for Orb. This means there's not gonna be a rematch, but yeah, so this week's cast is gonna be a bit short, but we're gonna be back next week with the bronze match of the Dark Tournament. That's also been really interesting. Spoiler alert, it was Spain versus a semi-newcomer, who is actually a legit semi-newcomer from the Academy, who has been playing amazingly well. And then after that, we've also got another really legit semi-newcomer, nothing like the Archangel situation, like a legit newcomer who has been working his way, fighting his way up the Academy ranks in misery against a very established player. So really good content, RA content coming in hot for the next weeks. Stay tuned. That's it for this week. Congratulations to Orb for taking his rightful title as Lord of Darkness, Prince of Darkness, I'm not entirely sure. And congratulations to Ganon for being probably, I don't know, Mr. Smokey or something. I don't know what the second place entailed. It also entails the title. Yeah, both those players fighting fiercely, but ultimately Orb taking the better end of the trade. So that's it for now. See you next time. Yeah, subscribe to all my channels. Signature catchphrase inserting here. Then here comes the overlay. Here comes the notification to press the bell button to subscribe, and signature move. 5 aces out.
Battle control terminated.